Hey Juventini, welcome back to the AJC. I'm Alberto. I got all this morning's news surfacing around Juventus, and I've got a lot, okay? We've got Mercado rumblings, a contract extension that might infuriate some. We've got the 10-point penalty. What the next step is, the plea deal that's open for Juventus, and then Juve finally considering a change and parting ways with Max Allegri, all right? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and now let's rock, okay? We're going to kick things off with the players that are heading out. Di Maria seems to be leaving. Apparently, Juventus not convinced by performances, and even with the growth decree, will not look at renewing. So that should end. Expect Di Maria to part ways at season's end. Rabiot also expected to leave. According to Romeo Gresti, the renewal is practically impossible. Bayern Munich is an option, as well as Manchester United in the Premiership. All right, now Zakaria is being named as a potential option for Juventus to keep around as one of these players that we're going to be seeing return to Juventus amongst McKennie, Kulusevski, and Artur and whatnot. But Zakaria might be kept around because of his low salary, and that should help with Rabiot leaving. Now, a lot of fans are fired up about that, saying he is nowhere near being able to replace Rabiot because of what Rabiot's been able to do and bring to the team this season. However, in my personal opinion, he doesn't necessarily have to be. We have options that allow us to play in a two-man pivot, and actually he looked very good in a two-man pivot for us in a couple of sessions before we ultimately saw him out. So I'm not sold that Zakaria is completely useless to Juventus, and given the other talent, Locatelli, Rovella coming back, Fagioli amongst the mix, I think we're okay at midfield. The priority for me is center back, a partner for Bremer, a solid partner for Bremer, and fullbacks. All right, so I'm okay with that. Now we continue on Cuadrado. Apparently Juan Cuadrado is expected to sign another 1-year renewal with Juventus. All right, so we are 1 day removed from getting the news that Juve is going to totally look and overhaul their business models and processes, and essentially try to stop signing players towards the end of their careers. And now you get the news of a 1-year renewal. However, this points more to probably what we're going to be looking at this Mercado, which Romeo Gresti has said on our show as of about a month ago. Expect a very light and weak Mercado. And of course, we still have the cases going on, all right? So this is more a sign of that, I feel. However, it is still frustrating for me because I'd like a clean sweep. We need to actually commit to what we're going to do. And even if it means riding it out with some of the youngsters, Cambiaso, per se, even Barbieri, whatnot, you might have to, but you still need a 1A. So that's kind of the contributing factor to this. There's a lot of things to consider, but I'm still not sold on this or even this happening. Get your sporting director in. Get your sporting director in and a management team immediately and let them start making the calls, because who is making calls like this right now? They shouldn't be. All right, so that's my point. Get your sporting director in. Giuntoli. All signs point to him joining Juventus. However, we have to wait for him to break the contract with Napoli. Right now, that is where it sits. We're waiting, and it feels like some of our signings over the past couple summers where you keep hearing about there's a meeting coming, there's another meeting scheduled. Well, that's what they're doing right now. The media is playing a guessing game with when the meetings are taking place between Giuntoli and De Laurentiis, okay? Right now, it's slated at towards the end of this week. Whether that's going to happen or not, who knows? We have to wait and see, but that's ultimately what it comes down to. Apparently, there's a 5-year deal on the table with Juventus for Giuntoli. He has to break free of Napoli. So all the other news doesn't really matter. The other option, of course, is hiring internally with Mana on the last post-match podcast, which I thank you all for your support and great reviews. You all seem to enjoy despite the circumstances that we got throttled by Empoli. We talked about Mana coming in, and for us, it doesn't seem fair for him to come into a position that the team's in right now in these circumstances. It needs to be somebody with experience and legit proven success elsewhere at a top tier club. That's just for me. And let him continue on with the good stuff he's doing with Next Gen. All right. Now, 10 points. 10 points in 30 days. Okay. It doesn't have to be the full 30 days, but within 30 days, Juventus is waiting to hear the reasoning that now they've been penalized with 10 points. Then they will make their decision to appeal or not. If they do that, obviously it's going to suspend everything, and then those points will probably be returned again. So we could finish potentially in Champions League spots, but then again, we await UEFA and what they will do. I have no doubt in my mind they're just going to ban us from European play, even if we finish there. But then those points would probably be moved on to the next season. Look, all of this is far from over, all right? Salary case, there's even a plea deal that's still on the table. Apparently, it is on the table until June 15th for Juventus to decide if they want to go that route. This is a tricky situation, and even when we start to talk about it, I find myself going back and forth in my mind on whether or not Juventus should or shouldn't take this deal and maybe just make everything go away and start this rebuild process and actually commit to it properly and move forward rather than delaying everything and your next management team's work and ability to work and whatnot. So that is crossing my mind. You guys know the drill. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Last, certainly not least, the club finally starting to be reported with reflecting on parting ways with Max Allegri. All right. Now, they are reiterating in news headlines something that I've been saying for a while, and that is if we are expecting Conte, Zidane, some high-priced manager, it's probably not going to happen because all the headlines are saying the same thing. Max is not going to walk away from his contract. A lot of money on there or whatnot. There are rumors that the club and Max might sit down to try and work out a severance package, but I highly doubt that. If Juve is going to part ways, they're going to have to come out of pocket to do so, and that puts guys like Tudor, Palladino, Motta in the mix for the next coaching position. Apparently, Italiano is liked by Juventus. However, things are complicated due to Rocco Comiso. That's what's being listed out there. Now, I will remind everybody as we are trying to figure out if my source, okay, we're just going to call him Lafont, okay? So Lafont, if Lafont is strong, okay, it'll be interesting to see because we laid it out there a month and a half ago on a live show that he told me that Juve at that point was already looking and that the chances of Max Allegri staying were slim to none. Let's figure out together as time goes on if this source that's made himself available to me is somewhat reliable or not. We'll find out. Everybody, that's your news break to today. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video, but like the video, subscribe to the channel, and most of all, let's mix it up in the comment section. That's probably my favorite part out of these daily update videos, and I'll be back tomorrow with more, all right? Fino alla fine, forza Juventus. Ciao tutti.